Good morning. Day 231, cooking down the freezer, refrigerator, and working pantry meals. So this morning, I let my dogs out, and I was wondering, it's been raining, so everything's really wet out there, and it rained really hard last night. But I was wondering why my Chloe wasn't coming in, because she doesn't like to be wet. So she's usually right in there when she doesn't even like to go out when it rains. So I went outside, and I'll show you what happened in a little bit. A huge branch of the tree that fell down a couple years ago came down again, all across my garden, knocked my city picker over. I hope it didn't totally ruin it. And yep, so that was pretty disheartening. But when the going gets tough, the tough drink coffee. So now I have to find a tree service or something to come and cut up the branch and have that tree taken down for sure. I've been debating if I should have it taken down because it does provide a lot of shade, but this is like the last straw. It has to go. It's rotten inside, and it's just not, it can't stay. I hate to cut down trees, I really do, but I have no choice with this one because it's done damage twice now. So other than that little tidbit, it's cool today. It's only going to be in the mid to upper 70s, and cloudy, and I don't know if it's going to rain some more. But I'm sure a lot of the plants in my garden got ruined, probably broken off. So we'll see. We'll just go with the flow. That's all we can do. Anyway, I'm looking forward to my coffee this morning. So all I can do is make my day as pleasant as possible, and that's what I'm going to do. So I'm not sure what I'm having for breakfast. I really need to eat all that avocado mash, and I have tomatoes, so that's probably what I'll end up with today. And then I have to make something for dinner, but I don't know what's for dinner either. So we'll have to explore a little bit in my fridge and freezer and see what we come up with. All right, I'm going to sit and ponder and enjoy my coffee and see who I'm going to call to get rid of at least that huge branch that came down. All right, I'll be back in a little bit. Okay, let's go into my garden. I can't even get out the deck door. Everything looks lovely here, but wait. This is not good. All right, so here's the branch. And there is where it broke off. See, this whole tree is rotted inside. There's where the branch came off. Here is where the last branch came off. Where is it? There it is. That's the last branch that came off. That was a big one too. And this one. Okay. Well, my garden will have more sun in it. That's the positive angle. And it's all nicely across all my containers. All across here and here. Knocked over my city pickers that I just filled up with dirt. Bent over my Rose of Sharon. I think that's still salvageable. And yep, knocked down my looks like it did some damage to my fencing too. And all the way over to here in the back, and this is bigger than I thought. It doesn't look that big from the other side. This thing is huge. It's really a big branch. So I'm hoping this fella calls me like soon, because this tree needs to go. And it smashed all this right here. This was my grapevine, and the grapevine will be okay, but yep, that's it. Big huge tree branch. Well, jeez. Oh, thank you, Lord, for taking down my tree and not having too much damage. Okay, there we go. Another day in the life. If I don't make work for myself, Mother Nature makes work for me. So there we have it. Such a lovely, lovely mess. Oh well. My squash is looking pretty. So there is my garden. And today is August 9th. Yep. Looks like some of my tomatoes got smashed. Alright. So there we have it. I'll be back with some breakfast in a little while. Good morning. Dear friends, cheers. Let's have a little coffee chat. Well, this morning I want to talk to you a little bit about keeping a positive attitude. Now, I know we all have problems and things, but what I like to do, well, I don't like to do it, but I have to do it. In order for things not to feel like they're coming down on my head, I always go through a process of looking at the positive aspects of whatever happens. Now, I know there's some disasters that happen that there's just nothing positive about at all. But I'm talking about everyday things where, like my tree, or a relationship ending, or, any of those things. As long as we're not losing a life or something like that. I think most situations do have positive things that also happen. So I'll take my tree as an example. Yes, I worked really, really hard on getting this garden set up, on getting it moved around, and this tree has been an issue now for a couple years. The problem is I don't have the money to get it taken down. So I procrastinate, and it's like there's other things that I wanted to spend my money on, not taking down a tree. So I'm kind of playing Russian roulette a little bit with the tree, because I know that it's not a healthy tree. But I was hoping against hope that it would last another year until after the gardening season, so that I could take down my fencing, because I want to put up new fencing anyway. But I didn't want to have to move my established garden in order to do that. So I wanted to wait until the fall, when the leaves come down, and I could move my garden plants and put up the new fence when I was done. Well, God had other plans, and maybe God is taking down the tree for me. Could happen. So, and property was damaged, but there wasn't anything, there were no people hurt or anything like that. But I know I have to get this tree taken down. So I'm going to have to put it on a credit card because it's sort of an emergency. And honestly, I don't have the money saved up because I'm low income, you know, and there's other things rather than having money that just sits in the bank. I mean, I've had emergency funds, don't get me wrong about that. But if I used all that, I would, I mean, it's very small. And if I use that, I would have no money at all in there. So because I chose to spend the money, the extra money that I did get on redecorating my living room and my kitchen, that's where the money went. So anyway, but I'm trying to look at the positive side of having this tree, this large tree limb come down. And actually the last one that came down was exactly the same scenario across the same area. But anyway, so now my garden, what's left of it, which I'm hoping will be okay, will get more sun, which was actually one of my goals in having the tree removed, other than it's rotten. But so this morning I called a tree service guy, and my best friend who lives next door just had a tree taken down. So fortunately I had his number and he was very reasonable. So I called him. I'm waiting for him to call me back and give me a price. I don't think I'm going to have the whole tree taken down this time. I still would like to wait until the fall, because for them to get in there, I do have to take down the fencing and move all those containers. But I can't do that right now. So I'm going to see, there's another branch that I can see that it's not looking right. I'm going to see if he can take that down and also cut up the branch that came down and have a stump removed that initially he did give me a cost for. So anyway, the positive side of this branch coming down is that it's going to provide more sun for my garden, and secondly, it's going to make me purge some of the plants that maybe aren't good in the garden anymore. So I wanted to talk too about relationships and relationships ending, because I know, you know, people change, they grow, they don't grow, you know, whatever it is, they stay the same, and people change, and sometimes whether it's a friend or a partner or a significant other, whatever it is, relationships come to an end too. And even with that, to continue to go over things in your mind about, oh, what could I have done, or, you know, or is it my fault, is it their fault, you know, who's laying fault on somebody. Phone call that I had to take. Anyway, as I was saying, try and think about the positive things that could happen in your new found free time. You'll have more free time if you don't have to spend a lot of time with that friend or significant other or whoever it is. And think about maybe finding yourself again, because we all sort of mold ourselves to another person's likes or dislikes. Excuse me. I have a frog in my throat. So it gives us a chance to rediscover who we are, what our likes are, what our dislikes are. And usually once you've been in a relationship with a person, it does change you. you're a different person than you were before you got into a relationship with that person. Because as time passes, we all change. So sitting down with yourself and, maybe writing down in a journal or making lists, whatever your go-to is, or sometimes just talking to yourself in a mirror. Talk about all the positive things that are going to happen, all the positive things that you can do that you couldn't do when you were in a relationship, whether it was a friendship or whatever it is. And it's not my first rodeo. I've had relationships end, actually long-term relationships end in the past. And that's how I've gotten through it. And it wasn't that devastating in that case. And don't keep thinking about all the fun things you did with that person and what you're going to miss and, and all that. Think more about what fun things that you can have if you don't like to do things by yourself. Cultivate some new friendships. Renew some old friendships. Take that bus trip with the old ladies that you always wanted to take. Or, if you're the kind of person that likes to do things by yourself, set up some solo trips or whatever it is you like to do. For me, some of the things that I've done is taking classes on things that, whether it was a painting class or, whatever, that I didn't have time for when I was in a relationship, because relationships do require a lot of your time, even friendships. So that to me was always the best way to get through a breakup, or if I had a tiff with a friend that, happened for whatever reason it happened. And, it doesn't have to be so devastating that you can't function. So anyway, see all the things that got going in my head because of my tree. So I'm going to sit here and I'm going to think of all the positive things that will come out of this tree branch coming down. Another thing that is positive, besides my garden getting more sun, I'll get some free mulch, because I'm going to have them grind that up and stick the wood chips in my garden. Not in my bags, but on the ground. Because I have to do that every year, and I haven't done that yet because it keeps the mud down from the dog's feet. So anyway, I just wanted to talk about that and, trying to maintain a positive attitude about things that happen and getting through things that are unexpected. If you have to use credit, then that's what you have to do. I can't see, this is just my opinion. Living within your means, of course, is very important. But sometimes your means are very meager and it's not so easy to do. So if you have to use credit once in a while and then pay it off, then that's what you need to do. As long as you don't let it get out of hand and you just keep adding onto the pile and adding onto the pile. In the past, I had a dog that was diabetic and she needed vet care. I didn't have the money for it, so I put it on care credit. Well, she passed away years later, and I just paid off the bill. So, knock on wood, I don't need to use that for a while. But when you need it, there's nothing wrong with even buying on time payments. and paying things off before you have to pay all the interest. Or maybe doing a little credit card surfing. Now, I'm not a financial advisor. Don't go by what I'm saying. This is just what I do. I've done this in the past where I've taken balances on cards with higher interest and found a card where you can do a balance transfer and have zero interest for X amount of time. And then you try and pay it off before that time expires. So there are ways that you can do what you need to do, but I'm not a person that will let projects pile one on top of the other and then things become dilapidated and pretty much worthless by the time you get around to being able to do something. I would rather do it, get it paid one way or another, and then pay it off. So, I mean, that's like with my windows and my roof. I have to have those done, but I'm not getting those done until I do have a card I'm paying on, and I will get that paid off, and then I'll go to the next one. And I'll probably do, same as cash, or have a long period of time to get it paid so I'm not paying a lot of credit card interest. So that's just what I do. I'm not advising you to do that at all. I'm just saying how I get through some disasters. All right, well, I'm going to wait and hopefully this fellow will call me back soon. And we'll get on with it because I can't even let the dogs out right now. Well, I can, but they have an area like this big to do their business. All right, my friends, I'll be back in a little bit with some breakfast and we'll carry on. So look at the positive things, find those positive things. All right, hey, time for breakfast, day 231. So when I went to get my romaine lettuce yesterday, I also picked up a package of these Italian dinner rolls because I really like them, and the only thing I have left are hot dog and hamburger buns, and I really don't like sandwiches. The only thing, I don't like sandwiches with those. The only thing that I like those with are actually hamburgers and hot dogs. So I decided I just got this bread and I got a little block of Havarti cheese because I don't have a lot of cheese anymore, and I'm not going to Aldi's to get my favorite pack of cheese. I will one of these days. If I pass one, I'll stop in there and pick one up. But that's all I got were the 3 food items. I have a little bit, I do have a loaf of bread from Costco in the freezer and a little bit of the Walmart bread left, which I will eat. But I think today I might have a roll. So I'm going to freshen this up, and then I'm going to have some more avocado mash. I have 6 of these left. And I do want to eat them up because they're getting older. And I will buy these again. I think they're 16 in a pack. And I forget what Costco charged for the package. But for me, this was a great thing because one of these is enough for me for one meal. And I don't have to worry about my avocados spoiling or getting brown, and the only thing in here is sea salt and lemon, which I put in my avocados anyway. So I will definitely get those again. Hopefully they still have them. So I'm going to go ahead and make my breakfast, and then I don't know what I'm having for dinner. I'm thinking what I want to do, and let me know in the comments below if this works for you guys, since I know most of you like to look in my fridge. I'm thinking about only doing the fridge and freezer thing once a day instead of going to the fridge and freezer twice a day. It'll be on the same day, but looking in there once I think will be good. So let me know in the comments below what you think. And I'm going to make my breakfast now, so I'll be back. Breakfast is done, and you've seen this before, but in 231 days you're going to see some repeats. I try to mix it up as much as possible because I do like variety, but sometimes you have food that needs to be eaten down, and that's what this series is all about. So here I have my roll from the store, my black cherry tomatoes, those are from the garden. The avocado mash is from Costco. It's in my refrigerator stash. And then here I have some Greek yogurt that I bought on my last Walmart shop quite a while ago. So I need to start eating this, and it's plain Greek yogurt. I like to buy it plain, and then I can make my own flavors. So I put some salted caramel syrup in here, a little bit of my sweetener, and this is cinnamon sugar. So it makes a really, really tasty yogurt. And it's cheaper than buying the little flavored containers. Alright, so that's my breakfast this morning. I'll be back later this evening with some dinner, and we'll see if anything else exciting is happening today. Alright, see you in a little bit. Well, I'm back to drinking coffee because, whoops, sorry about that, because I'm trying to formulate a plan here and get some motivation going. So I'm going to show you my dining room, and it is horrendous. It hasn't always been like this, but it got this way since I've been doing my downstairs refresh or redo or whatever you want to call it. So it's pretty bad. So I need to start working on that. I can't do anything else in the living room until tomorrow, when the couch will go. Then I'm going to wait to get these chairs out of here. The kitchen is good. I do have some cupboards that I need to go through again. I still have too many pots and pans. But my dining room is horrendous. And hopefully the gal that's going to get my Christmas dishes will come through and not just be all hyped up about it and then nothing happens. So those need to go. And but in the meantime, I can't leave my dining room the way it is, because it truly looks like a hoarder's room, and it's driving me crazy. So the donation people, I think, are going to be coming, I think, next week. I have to set that up. My neighbor's donating some stuff. So I want to get some things ready for them. All right, without further ado, I'll show you my dining room. I don't want to, but we keep it real here on this channel, so I'm going to hang my head and show you my dining room. Okay, so here is what happened to my dining room. It just became a mess as I was doing my living room. And my kitchen, everything else ended up in here. Things I bought, things that don't have a home yet. So this is the last room down here that I'm planning on organizing and doing. It really looks terrible. So I need to clean that up. Over here I have a plant table with, I need to put this table gone. It needs to be gone. I have this avocado that grew from a pit, I need to repot that into a bigger pot. And then here I have my little tiny, it's growing so nicely. This is my blood orange tree that I planted from a blood orange that I got in a food box. So it's doing very nicely. It's very happy under there. Here's some sad looking basil. So this plant stand needs to be gone. That's been sitting there since I started tomatoes last spring. So I'm not needing it right now. And so that needs to happen. And then over here, these all need to go upstairs in what's going to be my plant room, where I'm going to move my starts this fall and winter. So those need to go upstairs. Over here is my kombucha bar, and I need to work on that because all the kombucha in there is dried up. It needs to go in the garbage. I still have a couple bottles here. This is kombucha vinegar, so that needs to be redone. And then over here, I have my wine bar, and this is more wine, so I want to put this up here too. I measured, there's enough room. This needs to move over, and then this will go up with that, so it's all in one place. And I'll have a little more room for my kombucha bar. So that's on the list. And then over here, I have a bunch of Christmas cactus and Thanksgiving and Easter. I don't even know what they are. So those will need to go in one pot. I want to put them all together. I have a pot in the garage that I'm going to put them in. So I want to consolidate those. And then here I have my little arrow garden that's getting a few tomato flowers. This one is looking a little healthier, but I don't see any flowers on there yet. So anyway, I'll let those grow and see what happens. So that's the plan. And then over here, yeah, it's a mess. This is like a hoarder's room. This is my painting corner, and I have a couple of paintings here. And I want to make this into a working painting area so that I actually don't need to gather my things constantly, and that I have a place where I can just roll out my cart and start painting again. And then here I just have a bunch of random things I didn't know what to do with. Whole bag of papers that need to be looked through and shredded, and miscellaneous other things. So yep, it's a mess. So this room will take me a good couple weeks to get done. I have a carpet here that's new that I need to put down by the sliding door for when the dogs come in the fall, when it starts the rainy season and winter. And another carpet there. So my work is cut out for me, and I have a few crafts here that I want to work on. So there you go. I hang my head in shame, but I will do better. So over the next couple weeks, I'll be doing more videos, and come along with me. If you have a project that you want to start, let me know in the comments below what you're doing and how you're doing it. Okay, I'll be back later. I got my wine bar put together, and I moved all the wines together, and they all have little lights, and I think it looks very festive. So I'm happy with that. What do you guys think? So one corner is done. What are those orbs flying around? Oh dear. All right, my friends, let's see what's for dinner. Day 231. Okay. I made some fries from the potatoes I bought. And I still have this little tiny bit of sour cream. I don't know if it's still good or not, but I'm going to make some sort of a fry dip out of that. And I still have this half of a not chicken breast. I'm going to have that. That was left over from yesterday. And I'm going to have some, I want to finish up this garlic aioli. There's still a little bit left in there. And what else? I don't know. I don't think I need any cheese on there. But I do want some lettuce. Let's see, I'll pick the smallest one. So I do want some lettuce on there. And I might shred some of that up and have a little side salad. That would be good. And I have a teeny tiny bit of ranch dressing left. I want to finish that up. And that's it. Okay, I will meet you at the stove. This is how much sour cream was left in there, not much. And I'm going to put some of this aioli mayo. It's that time of the day. Dinner time, everybody comes home and Lizzie has to report it. So I'm going to put some of that in with this. I really would like to finish this up today. Today I feel like I'm shouting, like I'm yelling. Am I shouting and yelling? I don't mean to. I think the tree has me all discombobulated. Okay, I'm also going to malfunction. Put some ranch dressing in here. Well, that's not attractive. It's one of those days. Okay, so I'm just going to mix all that together, because why not? And I'm going to put some pepper in there, and some garlic salt. Okay, and hopefully it's edible. Alright, I'm going to give this a little taste with this French fry that I made. And it's a good way to clean off the spoon. Hopefully it's good. So let's see. It's good. So I put garlic and herb seasoning on the potatoes, no oil. I just cut them up and stuck them in the air fryer. And it's good. And there is my roll. I'll be right back. Okay, so here is my dinner. And just fries from a regular Idaho potato, some dip, just using up some random things. My half a chicken breast, I put aioli on there and some lettuce and a little bit of a salad. So that's my dinner for tonight. And from my garden I got this cucumber. If I'm still hungry, I'm going to cut this up. And if I'm not still hungry, then I'm just going to put it in the fridge for tomorrow. All right. So I used up all the ranch dressing. It's gone. I used up finally all this garlic aioli, and it was tasty. So 2 more things gone out of the fridge and into my stomach. All right. That's all for today, my friends. I don't want to make this video too long because then my phone acts up and gives me all kinds of problems. So, all right, tomorrow I'll be back with more dining room declutter and more house declutter. All right, my friends, I want to wish you abundant blessings. I love you guys. Be good to yourself. Be good to others. God bless you. And I'll see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, comment, and like. Thanks for watching.